Welcome, everybody, to Sonderling Inc., episode 32. My name is Sam Lander, and I am your GM. I have some players.
I am Eastborn. I'm playing Striggs, the Goblin Wizard.
I am Holocall playing a human fighter called Holocall.
I'm Hogel. Well, I'm Inter playing the human rogue, Hogel Wolf.
And I'm Sutter playing Grunthos, the Kobold Ranger.
All right, who wants to sum up what happened last time?
Kevin
Shouldn't
wants
take-
to.
Shouldn't take too long.
Good luck, Kevin.
We started off in a tavern, finishing our meals, trying to remember names and trying to figure out where we're going, and also trying to find some cargo to go where we were going, which was Kartuk. When we left the tavern, we were going to one of Horgol's known associates that could fix us up with some cargo, and a plan was hatched to try to find out what the Greys knew about Kevin. When we started walking, went into their territory, it didn't take more than 2 minutes of us me being in there before they started chasing, but we charged right at them and had a real tussle with them, which we won. And
Don't forget my massive mistake of casting sleep on the both of us.
Yeah, Striggs thought he was smart and made both me and himself fall asleep. And at the end of the tussle, right before we went onwards, we scared the living daylights out of two of the Greys. Literally scared the poop out of them. And when we were done with those, we went onwards to Horgold's associates, and Kevin opened the door.
A red kobold opened the door.
Yes.
Because you're convinced that not all red kobolds are Kevin.
But
All
I
right.
know there's two.
So yes, there is a red kobold who opens the door to, I don't remember the guy's name.
Renegade.
Yep. He brain fart. Who opens the door? Okay, so Grunthos, you are nose to nose with a kobold who is the spitting image of you. Like if you didn't know better, you'd say you were looking in a mirror, with the exception the clothes are different. Yeah.
I growled loudly.
He looks at you, kind of blinks a couple times in confusion, and looks at the rest of you, and says in Draconic, "Can I help you? It's kind of late."
Can I use my unseen servant to make sure he can't leave? Block the doorway he's coming from so he can't walk back?
Well, he's on the other side of the door from you. Interact with an object. On the ground within range. All right, so you could put the servant behind him. You're wanting him to do what?
Just make sure when he tries to run away, it would or close the door, you would make sure that the door would stay open or something like that. And nothing special.
Right. So
with a deep growl, I say, "Hi, I'm Grunthos. What's your name?"
So if I can't help you, then that'll be a good day. And he goes to close the door.
Still Darkronic?
What?
Still in Darkronic?
Yeah, still in Draconic.
I just saying, we are here for Runde.
Oh, why didn't you say so? He says, looking at the other kobold in the street. Sure, follow me. He's upstairs. He swishes his tail somewhat angrily and heads back into that place. This is a fairly nice warehouse turned into like office space turned into living situation. You're not exactly sure what's going on, but there is like hallway. Like you're in a hallway. The floor is real nice. The walls are really nice. But like if you look out through, there's some windows in one of the halls on your left, and it's just like a warehouse space off to your left. Off to your right, there's like office doors and stuff like that, and the kobold, who still hasn't introduced himself, leads you upstairs and tappity tap taps on the door. Horgold, you recognize it as a basically thieves can't style like message. And after a couple moments, your friend Rundir opens the door. Horgold, I didn't expect to see you. You've been gone for what, a year now? Year and a half, 2 years? Welcome, friend. Come in. He opens up the door wide. Inside is like a nice like sitting room. There's candles and fireplace and all that sort of fun jazz. Lots of soft furniture.
Yeah, we were in shipping lately with my crew and exploring the lands a little bit. So yeah, we are going to another city soon, and yeah, Codex, and I will see if you have some ship maybe that.
I mean, of course I do. I hadn't expected to see you on this side of the goods transportation equation, but
Well, I'm
sure.
still my LP.
Sure. Come on
Not
in.
the only cargo.
Yeah, come on in. We'll see what we have. Where are you headed to, and when are you planning on leaving?
I look at Gruntus, and he's our captain.
The snort is actually from Rundir. He's like, really? He is.
Weren't we going to Kartuk?
Oh yeah, Kartuk. Yeah.
Not breaking ice with the other.
So the other kobold is giving you a very appraising look, I guess you would say.
I'll start to break the ice. I'll say, well, we had a little bit of an encounter with the Greys on our way here. Apparently, they're looking for some sort of Kevin, and apparently it's a red kobold that there's only one of in the city, and they mistook our friend here for Grantos for it. This guy kind of looks like him, so we were wondering if he's the Kevin they're looking for.
Could I get an insight roll from everybody as the other kobold goes, I don't know what you're talking about. Ooh. So, Hollick, everybody else is like, well, maybe he's not Kevin, because, Kevin, just because he's a red kobold doesn't mean he's Kevin. Hollick, you're pretty sure that he's lying. Lying.
Is he in how large is the room? Where are we situated? Can I whisper to one of the others? Without...
Yeah, you could whisper to somebody pretty easily.
And who is next to me?
I'm gonna put you next to Horgold.
Then I will whisper to Horgold. Hey, Horgold, I think the kobold is lying.
All right. Rundir says, "All right." So Kartuk, he sits down at his desk, kind of motions you guys to chairs around the chairs and kind of in front of the desk. I've got some stuff that I could use to Kartuk. How much can you guys carry? You got a wagon? Are you carrying it by hand or?
We have a ship.
Well, that's not really. I mean, it's a bit of a trip by boat. It's faster to go overland.
It's flying.
We will get there.
Okay, so
Trust me.
I
Have I ever let you down?
You have never let me down. You've been a wonderful friend. All right, so you have a ship. All right, so I don't have anything time sensitive, so that's good. So nothing in a hurry. I do have some bulk goods that I've got a fence in Kartuk who's willing to pay me for, gets me a little better price than around here. So I tell you what, when you guys shipping out?
As soon as possible. So maybe tomorrow morning or somewhere around.
All right. I can get you. I can get. If you give me the slip number that your ship is station or is docked at, I can get this. I can have Kevin. He looks at the kobold after with a bit of annoyance. Arrange for stuff to get down there tonight. Yeah. He comes. He says, "All right. So it's probably 300 brass for the shipment. The stuff's that stuff's worth more than that, of course. So don't lose any of it. But well, you're fine, reputable purveyors of goods. I'm sure you know that."
Yeah, I think 300 is a fair price. But what about this Kevin that you mentioned? Well, are you hiding him? Because people are looking for him.
Oh, really? He looks over at the other kobold in the room. He hadn't mentioned that. So why are people looking for him? You can tell at this point. You can kind of tell that he's like goading Kevin a little bit, who kind of sniffs at him and turns around and walks out the door.
Can I make the unseen servant hold the door?
Yeah, the door doesn't latch behind him, so he wasn't trying to slam the door or anything, but yes, the door remains open.
Kevin owes some money to the Greys, it would seem, because they attacked me for it.
That's not very neighborly of them. Did you tell them that there might be more than one kobold in town named, well, not named Kevin, since you're named Grunthos, but more than one kobold in town?
Yes. We did try that first.
Listen.
They didn't listen. Well,
They didn't listen.
Greys have never been noticed.
They listened the second time.
Greys have never been well known for their intelligence. So have you taken care of the problem, or are you interested in maybe taking care of it more permanently? Because Kevin,
I don't think they're gonna bother me anymore.
Kevin is actually a great help to me in running my business, so I'd prefer not to have him in any entanglements with the Greys.
Brenthos,
And
did you hear what they were looking for? Was it money? Or
yeah, if you don't want Kevin to be in trouble with them, I suggest you take him with you and talk to them. I'm pretty sure I'm in the clear, but I'm not so sure about Kevin.
He nods. Yeah, I think we'll have a conversation, and the nice thing about having Kevin under my employ is, well, I can pay the Greys back so they stop bothering him and other friendly folk, and well, I could just take it out of Kevin's pay, you know. So, yeah, 300 brass for items delivered. I'll give you half upon the receipt of the goods. The other half upon delivery, of course. They should be expecting them when I'll let them know you're coming in the next few weeks. And yeah, no.
is it a full ship's worth of merchandise, or maybe we have room for more?
I
Why
mean,
not fill?
how big of a ship do you have? Because I'm sure I could find more to fill your hold.
Can I just say the dimensions of the ship or the whole? I have no idea.
Give me an intelligence roll with disadvantage because you're not like a sailor. So
I've studied it though.
Oh, true, you have. So give me an intelligence roll. No disadvantage.
20.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You can give him a very accurate like read on both volume and like tonnage that you can load into the ship safely. And he's like, really?
I do want it to be able to fly though, so if it's different, then
that is with the assumption that you can still take off and land without too much. I thought you were joking about having a ship, but if you can carry that much, I tell you what. I've got my goods for 300 brass, but I think I could find you some more he gives kind of everybody in the room a look, but he knows Horgold and is like, I'd say standard fare that can fill the rest of your hold. It won't be worth as much, but I bet
also
you
high D-rest.
You guys could, I'm sure, can make a profit off of it. We can work on. It'd be one of those things where I'm pretty sure the merchants who would have it would be, you buy it from them, and then they. I tell you what, a 10% finder's fee. I can get you the 150 brass that I'm paying for you to carry my goods. Can get you enough stuff to probably double your profit on the other end.
On 10%, that's pretty generous.
Nah, good friend. I mean, it's always good to know people who have a ship, especially people who I trust as much as I trust Horgold.
Okay. Well, if you can find something, that would be very nice for us.
All right. I will send my goods down to the ship with Kevin. The other stuff I will help you find. Should be loaded on your ship by noon tomorrow. If you guys are headed out tomorrow.
Quick question, Sama. Can I make sure that the guy he's haggling against gets a 200 dice? I'm not exactly sure if that will work.
I think you would have to be there.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Never mind then.
All right. So he stands up, kind of motions you guys to the door. Says
Yes,
it's
creature I can see.
it's lovely doing business with you all. If you're ever back in town and need a load carried, or need a load of goods to, if you're ever looking for shipping from town here again, let me know.
We will. Right, Horgold.
Yeah, sure.
He kind of escorts you to the front door, and as you guys, go back out into the alleyway, the door closes behind you, and you hear a muffled yell through the door. Basically, Kevin, get here. And then kind of muffled, like, you can't really hear what's being said at this point, but you can tell he's not pleased with his little kobold friend. Right, guys.
So
yeah.
Hmm?
I'll make him follow me again to chief servants.
Yeah, I'll just assume that the in-screen servant's following you unless you tell me something different.
So yeah, where do we sleep? On the boat so we can prep, or do we go to a nicer place?
We already had traveling supplies, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to the boat.
I don't know how late it is, but maybe I may squeeze some research in.
It's fairly late. It's like probably around midnight at this point, because you guys had supper and then you had the tangle with the Greys and walking around town. So by the time you get back to the boat, it's probably midnight-ish.
Sleepy time.
All right.
Also alarm time.
At this point, I just assume that you and Horgold both have alarms up.
Okay.
Well, it depends on my spell points that I have left, but I had one left, so.
Fair enough. All right. So you guys sleep through the night. There are people at the boat, fairly like bright early sunrise, in the morning, looking to looking to load stuff onto your ship. You guys see Kevin off to the side talking with the harbor master about something. And you see like 3 or 4 gentlemen. They've got rolls of, it looks like carpeting, as far as you can tell, or possibly not. You're not 100% sure what, but as when you guys let them on board, they go below decks. And could I get perception check from anybody? Like they allow you to help them carry the stuff on the board. There's like 6 or 8 different boxes, and they're like heavy enough. The guys are like loading them on one at a time. So 15's good enough. 24 is more than good enough. 11 and 3, not so much. So Grunthos and Striggs, you guys notice a fairly characteristic shape in the cloth of this, and it feels like there are wands like rolled up in this.
As in magic wands?
As in magic wands rolled up in this. Carpet, I guess, is not exactly the right word. Okay.
Easy peasy.
So you detect magic, tapestry. That is kind of a tapestry. Think somewhere between tapestry and oriental rug. So Striggs, you detect magic, and you see a very distinct lack of magic coming from this. And you're kind of your brain's going, wait, what? And it's give me an Arcana roll, please.
Hi.
Yep. So you're like, Oh, the tapestry suppresses magical fields.
Ah, yes. Got it. Interesting.
So it is a magic item that does not emit magic because it is built to not emit magic.
Very interesting. I studied it a little bit closer just to figure out like what kind of stuff it is. Not with any expectation, just for funds.
With 15 Arcana, you're pretty sure you can, with a little bit of time, work out how this is, like, how the trick is done. And if you ever want to recreate this effect, make a note that you have advantage on that roll to do that.
Can I, as I research, write it down in my spell book?
It's not exactly a spell. It's related to dispel magic. So if you already have dispel, if you don't have dispel magic in your spell book, then you could use this to get that. But
I do already have dispel magic and counter spell. It's probably somewhere in between, right?
What's that? Sorry.
I have dispel magic and counter spell in my spell book.
Yeah, this is more towards dispel magic than counterspell, but you think you could make this you think you could make an item that does this with a little bit of time and practice.
I'll just keep it in a separate notebook, of course, because it's not really needed in spell.
From who is the extra cargo? Did we got the merchant name or something?
So the extra cargo is from an orc named Teak. And he'll be back. He'll be here. He'll be here in just a little bit. This is Kevin telling you this. When he's here, it's a fair amount of stuff, but Teak, Teak, as in the wood. But yeah, he's expecting payment on the dock, and he says that there are people in the Kartuk who want his goods, so you might have to do a bit of like looking around to find somebody to take it. But I believe him when he says that people will want it. Puzzle. And here he is now. So Kevin tosses to Horgold a bag and says, good luck with your travels, and curse you for telling him about the Greys. He flicks his tail at you and heads off.
I thump my tail on the deck in response.
All right, you guys
Can
see.
I count the money?
What's that?
That's correct.
Oh, you want to count the money?
Money, if it's correct or not.
I guess Horgold has the bag if he shows it to you.
That's default for me.
Yeah,
so you find 5 gems and just a quick appraisal. They're worth at least 150 brass. Maybe worth more if you find the right buyer, but they're worth they're 5 gems worth between 30 and 40 brass each. 150. Yes, that's that maths. All right. And on the dock you guys see a dark green, almost gray skinned orc. He is dressed to the nines, like stylish clothing, a little bit of silver in his hair, maybe a little bit of a receding hairline, but nothing too bad. And he looks at your ship and snorts and so he kind of yells in a deep gravelly voice, so who's the captain here? Or the purser? Or who do I gotta talk to load to buy my goods and load them on this ship.
Maybe Horgold for purchasing? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I point at Gruntos. He's the captain, but I think you need to talk to me about the ship.
He nods and comes on board if you'll let him, and offers you a very, very meaty hand. You know the kind of people who don't. They're like their hand is like twice as thick as any normal person's hand for their size. He kind of has that hand. He gives you a first firm handshake. Says, all right, I've got I see in a ship your size. He says, I've got 50 tons of my namesake to load on the ship. It's unworked but in good condition. It's worth at least 200 brass on the dock here. I figure in Kartuk you guys can get 300 to 500. But it's not worth my time to ship it up there. There's enough. Basically, his sales pitch is basically he's letting you have this opportunity because he has a little bit extra on hand, and it would take him a while to unload it, and he basically doesn't have like a caravan that heads up or anything that heads up to Kartuk itself, so he's not in a position to make it. Go ahead.
So you say it's 300 worth of goods. So what's the price?
he says it is 200. Or if you pay him 200, it's worth at least 300 and upwards of 500 in Kartuk.
Yeah, but we're not gonna sail over to there for 100. It's
well, give me a, I don't know what skill it would be. Mercantilism?
Persuasion?
Sure, give me persuasion to try to talk him down. That's really good. He's going to roll his... he's a merchant. He's going to tie you. He after like 5-10 minutes of back and forth and you know how good this stuff is and you are fairly convinced that he is correct about the purchase price in Kartuk, but you think he's like the 200 brass is a little high. You can talk him down to say 125.
I'll give him 4 of the gems.
He looks them over. He nods at you and says, "All right, we'll start loading her up, or I'll start." He basically, I'll have it delivered, or I'll have it dropped off here, and thank you for your business. And he pockets the thing and motions to one of his guys on the dock, who runs off towards like warehousing type stuff. Within probably 15 or 20 minutes, they start unloading like crates of stuff that on the dock.
I'll help moving it towards our boat with loading disc.
All right, so they're not they're not willing to load it on for you, but you can absolutely load one crate at a time onto a floating disc and move it into the ship and then move it into place. You rolled really good on your intelligence. You know how to load this ship up so that it's like stable.
Thank
you. So you guys probably about an hour and a half later, your ship is like packed to the gills with stuff. The stuff from Rundir is safely stashed away in the front bottom hold, but not in the room. And the rest of the ship is full of crates of either food and supplies for you guys on a journey, or of this the teak.
Can I make sure that the food is like easily accessible so we don't have to dig behind the rest while loading?
Absolutely, yeah.
And make sure the load of the shady load is in the back, basically, not easily.
Yep. No problem. It's probably 2:00 by the time you guys are done. Loading up everything, getting it all arranged. Like, it's one of those things where I'm gonna move us over to there. One of those things where, like, anything in the bottom, you can actually like crawl across the top of the crates on the bottom floor and get all the way from the tail of the ship to the front door here without ever having to worry about touching the ground. Like, it's tight down there.
Are the nails out again?
What nails? You don't see any nails. In fact,
of the problem room here.
There's no board either. No nails, no board. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
God, I do worry about it.
As the rest of you are loading stuff in, you guys all would have noticed that the board and the nails are gone. The deck is lava.
What do we do about it, guys? Can I figure out what's inside or not?
Give me an Arcana roll.
Can I make it a 14 plus the 7 of my Arcana?
Yes, you can.
21.
21. Did you intend that to? Oh, right. That is actually something for me. So okay, so we'll get back to that in a second, Striggs. So you, Hollock, you hear female voice yelling at you from the thing. Is Hollock aboard? Have a package for Hollock Hall.
Yeah,
from outside the boat?
Yes, from outside the boat.
So a real sound, not something I have in my head.
Not something you have in your head. No, everybody hears that.
And then I head out to see what's going on.
You see a probably middle teenage man. You thought the voice was female at first, but it's just that kind of like young teen higher pitch that some boys have. He goes, package for Hollock and Horgold, actually. Is Horgold aboard?
Yes, and I'm Hollock.
All right. He comes up on deck, sets a couple parcels down, and says, if you wouldn't mind just initialing here, this package from one Athena. And thank you for your initial, and good day to you, sir. And he heads back down off the boat and up the dock. You have a couple small parcels. There's a note on top. And Striggs, while everybody's distracted, you roll. You got a 21 on your roll.
Yes.
So that is plenty good enough. You sense behind the door fairly powerful magic. I'm trying to remember the school. It's not transmutation.
Thank God.
Where's the schools and where are they explained? Nope.
Abjuration, evocation, necromancy.
They don't list them out anymore. So we have transmutation,
Divination.
Evocation, divination, illusion. It is not divination. It is not. I don't think it's transmutation. I just gotta look up the spell.
Teleportation circle is a
Abjuration.
If that's
Conjuration. That is the one.
Conjuration. Generation.
So it is. So you are getting strong from beyond the door. You are getting a strong sense of conjuration magic with a little bit of. There's a little bit like a hint of overlay of illusion magic. There is a little bit of abjuration. There's no evocation that you can attack, no divination that you can attack, but definitely conjuration with a little bit of illusion and a little bit of abjuration.
Great.
And there's just kind of familiar taste to this magic. With a 21, you have. So you went to school to be a wizard, right? Like you're not just self-taught.
Kind of, partially.
Yeah, kind of. We'll go with you went to at least.
It took me a long time, basically.
You had at least
I did learn from
some formal training. So,
yes.
With the formal training, you would have been taught you would have like cast various conjuration like summoning spells. So the feel or the taste of this magic is very much along the. It's not
abyss. Dimension Door, which is conjuration as well.
Right. The taste of this magic is much more along the. Oh, where's the? Let me look at the summon creature list. It's not summon creature. Is it summon creature? Hold on. Suggestion summon. Please tell me that spell.
About summon woodland beings.
That's not even. I'm not even finding that one. So
summons is a spell.
Am I on the wrong spell list? LM NOPQ Scrying, Scorching Ray, Shield, Shatter, Shocking Grasp. Suggestion, Sunbeam, Sunburst, Swift Quiver. I don't see summon anywhere.
I don't think there's actually like any summon things anymore in D&D 5e.
Really?
Conjure.
Mm-hmm.
Conjuration. Ha! That would be this one.
Conjure woodland being.
ABC.
Conjure animals, conjure barrage, conjure celestial, conjure elemental, conjure fey, minor elemental, folly, woodland beings.
So let's go to conjure. Commune with nature, compose alert, confusion, conjure animals. So it is a lot more like the feel or the taste of this conjuration magic is much more like conjure animals than it is like conjure celestial, conjure elemental. Yeah, or conjure fey is another one that it's like that difference of where you're getting the creature that you're summoning from, than anything else. Is that clear? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll head towards the guys and say, did you guys know that there's some kind of like conjuration magic on that behind the door that you didn't want me to research? Do you guys know what it's like making that back there?
I'm interested in my partial or my package first.
So I will let the original player of the character describe what you guys received.
In each of your packages, there's a bog standard healing potion, one, and the note reads as
I'll go ahead and read it out loud. No, you read it out loud. It's your note.
I clicked something in Roll20 and my text box got huge and I can't see the chat anymore.
I don't know how to help you. I'll read the note then. Dear Hollick and Horgold, I caught wind of your visit to Kirsch, and I have been very busy at my shop, so I could not come in person to say hi. As a thanks for being my friends and helping me, I made you guys something. I hope they serve you well. With regards, Athena Lanth. I can't say the last word.
Lanthassel.
Lanthassel. And yes, there is a cure wounds or whatever it's called nowadays, heal potion in the parcels. Some good berries, and I think she was a druid, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
good
So
berries only last 24 hours. So
you still included some good berries because I'm making decisions because she's my NPC now.
yep.
So it's yeah, some good berries, the heal potion, and like some packaging stuff.
Ah, that's nice. So Strix, what are you all worried about?
Well, you remember that thing you didn't want me to research, the little deck behind that door that you boarded up. I hope you guys noticed that it isn't boarded up anymore. And after some detecting magic behind there, I kind of got the idea that something is being like conjured behind there, like made or something. I don't know if you guys know what, but it might be useful to share.
Was it still cold?
It is spring, so it is not still cold.
Then it is safer.
You mean the door's open?
No, I didn't open it, but it's not boarded up anymore. I didn't remove it, just so you know.
Okay, we need to board it up again, I guess.
So, what do you mean with fur behind it? I mean, if it's fur we can sell, why just not sell it? I'm kind of doubting that the fur would be conjuration, would be like conjured. It's kind of. Anyone wants to explain?
It's difficult to explain. It's a blessing and a curse in one piece. So it is better locked up because most of the time it's a curse. Bad things may come out.
Then why not try and just dispel it?
Oh, because then bad things may come out.
Please try to dispel it. Please try to dispel it. Please try to dispel it. Please.
Someone very powerful wants it there, so it is there.
I already noticed this is not a normal ship.
Yeah, I mean it can fly, but I know that is not the part of where it can fly because I've already researched that.
Yeah, Striggs, you're certain that the magic that's coming from behind that door has like no impact on this ship's like overall magical essence. It's completely separate from what makes it fly and keeps it together and all of that sort of thing.
So it shouldn't have anything to do with it being a flying ship. So
Actually, it's kind of a backup exit. If I think about it, if the ship is in trouble and we have no other means of escape, we can use it. even if it is very dangerous.
But I mean, why would you have something dangerous? Why not just cast your own spell that's manageable if it's something that's not manageable?
Because it was there when we acquired the ship.
Have you tried the spell yet?
No, because we know who made it, or we kind of know who made it.
I mean, who made it?
Well, I don't want to talk down to you, Strix, but there are people that are more powerful than you.
There are like quite a few people that are more powerful than me. I know that, but I just don't know who made it. Hey,
Let's
I
say
have to
it's
live here
somebody
with some
powerful.
weird magic that you guys don't want me to fucking check out.
Well, if the group agrees, I allow you to study it, but don't do anything to disturb it.
Well, anyone? Objections?
Yeah. Study away. But don't touch.
All right. I'm assuming you go back down and check it out, Striggs?
Yes, but I'm not gonna open the door yet.
Uh,
Try and
to-
figure
to-
out if I can.
To learn anything more, you're going to have to open the door.
Yeah, I do want
I
to
mean-
point out that like it's really powerful magic, and he should know that.
Right. So you head back down there, Striggs.
Yes.
And like as you're approaching the door, you feel warmth, like a warm, inviting, pleasant. Like you can smell. This is here that it wasn't here before. That's really I was going to ask for that. So I really
yeah,
like that. I really like that
I
result.
was gonna roll that for myself.
So you like smell like spring flowers in the air and like a little bit of like cinnamon honey type like really sweet and it just feels warm and inviting and you approach the
Can
door. Yep.
Before I approach, can I cast Unseen Servant, or does my will check disallow me to do that? Close the door if I can't, if I have to head out.
You can you have control of your character, so you can cast Unseen Servant. It just feels very warm, and as you like come to the door to like, or your servant comes to the door to touch it, it swings slowly.
No. I want to open it myself, but I want to make sure the servant can close the door whenever I have to leave or whatever.
Right.
I'm afraid that I have to go.
So you come up to the door to touch it, and you realize a couple. Well, give me a perception check, actually.
Perception check.
Yes. So you reach out to touch the door, and it swings. I get me back to the right page. It swings toward the interior of the room, which is like strikes you a little odd because the board and the nails were on this side of the door, and if you're boarding up a door, generally you put it on the direction that the door swings toward. But you're like, it's fine. And the door swings in, and there's just this kind of low, very very low fog, maybe a half inch to an inch fog, covering the floor in this room, and there's just kind of a very faint green glow coming from the interior of the room, and it smells like a woods in spring, like after a rain, and like the like life and living and warmth and comfort and all of those things all wrapped up into one. To two things. I would like you now to make another will save because there's going to be some compulsion going on here. And anybody else down there with him. Wisdom save 10. That is going to be not quite enough.
Yay.
Who is anybody else down there with him?
Still on the upper deck.
All right.
I think I'm the only one.
You're the only one here. That's super great. All right. It's fine. So you walk into the room. You see on the floor, just like the fog is just right, like barely coming up your shoe, but it completely obscures the floor. It's very dense fog. And you see in front of you a green circle of moss, kind of about 5 foot diameter, just kind of in front of you, and you step forward. You step forward, and you are in a lush green forest, as the ship is taking off and heading out. So we'll come back to that in a little bit. All right, Zerder or Grunthos, you're fully prepared. Gonna head out. Gonna just take off and fly, or
maybe do a. I was thinking about fixing the door problem before we
Can my servant close the door behind me when I walk in?
What happens when you're more than 30 feet from your, or more than 60 feet from your unseen servant? Does it vanish, or does it just arrive beside you?
No, it spell ends.
So you feel the connection into your unseen servant. Like you have that sense that it's.
So is it planar transportation kind of magic then?
You like I said, we'll come back to that.
Yeah,
just a little bit. So Gronthos, you actually headed down after Striggs?
I was thinking of making some beams and making some sort of instead of a beam we nail to the middle of the door, make a beam that I force against another beams to keep it shut at the threshold.
Got it. So you head down into the bowels of the ship. You see, this place is just, if you were taller, you'd bang your head. But your height is such that you're like, oh, you can, kind of keep your head up. You don't have to crawl to move around down here. And you see the door in the front of the ship, swung towards the front of the ship, which you can, because you were here before, the hinges open towards the interior space of this ship. So it opens towards this side, or at least it used to. Now it opens towards this side. And there's just this kind of low mist and green light that's coming out of the front of the room.
Sigh. Horgold! Holla!
What?
I go down after I hear him kneel.
All right, so you guys have some experience with this. So you can sense the, in the back of your mind, you sense the the magic of the feel good and so on and so forth feelings coming from the front of the room, but you're not getting it in the same way that Striggs was. So you can tell that somebody is projecting a warm spring day here. Not that it is a warm spring day, but just you can tell that something is projecting that. And you can see, the mist and the glowy light coming from, and you don't see Striggs anywhere. But you can see kind of Striggs shaped footprints or something in the the midst of the floor, you can see where it was very, through most of the room, it's very flat level, and there's this path of like disturbed mist towards the Fey ring.
We told him not to disturb it.
Okay, time to go get him.
Oh, let me try something first. I grab my special dagger, concentrate very hard on it, and ask nicely if he could have our goblin back.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Striggs, you find yourself in a forest. You're standing on a like a section of like dirt ground, and around you is just probably 1 to 3 inch tall mushrooms in a ring around you, like if they were growing up out of a buried stump or something. These are, give me an intelligence check, if you would please. Ooh, good enough. You're pretty sure these are like, you're not 100% sure, but you're thinking these are either death caps or some other poisonous mushroom. Like they're very pretty, and they're in a neat ring, and if you ate one, you would probably regret it.
Yes, but can I make out if there's been like a teleport or a change of realms or something?
So as you sensed no motion, or like you are,
I mean, Dimension Door you don't sense motion as well.
right. So you are moderately sure that this was some sort of change of planes of reality. You weren't just teleported somewhere across the world. You are in a different plane of reality. And
can I carefully step outside of the ring and then step back inside the ring?
You take a step out of the ring and you step back inside, and you hear a low chuckle and says, "Oh no, it doesn't work that way. If
Or something.
I'll tell you how I'll tell you how to make it work if you give me one small favor."
Well, it would depend on the favor, I would guess.
Oh, you'll know when I ask it of you. And you see you see appear like stepping out of this like old the forest you're in is like deep old growth forest. The trees are, the size around of wine kegs, or maybe even bigger than that. Like there's so little sunlight coming through the top. There's like no real undergrowth here. It's all like mosses and leaf mold and stuff like that. And you see, kind of stepping around a tree, you see a troll. Thing is probably 12 feet tall. I'm not sure if you're very familiar with trolls at all, but this is the most intelligent looking troll you think you've ever seen.
I'm very familiar with trolls. I would assume.
Yeah, it's kind of got that it's tall green body.
He was the one that was speaking.
What's that?
He was the one that was speaking.
Yeah, and you could tell by the voice, and he's coming out. It's him that was speaking. Like he's kind of got a little bit of a hunch, and his knuckles like are dragging on the ground, and his arms are as big around as your head, if not bigger. Just a small favor, and I'll teach you how it works, and then you can come and go anytime you please.
Well, as I said, I'd have to know what the favor is first before I say yes or no.
At which point, you hear a feminine chuckle, kind of, you're not sure where it's coming from, and she says, you hear kind of a voice carried by the breeze says, Rathar, let him go. His friends are asking for him. And you're still standing in the circle?
Yeah, I step back in.
Okay,
Okay.
so you find yourself blinking in the darkness of the hold. Hollick, you have just finished your sentence and you hear a pleased feminine chuckle in your mind. And you guys see Striggs standing there looking at you, blinking a little bit in the darkness. You have dark vision, but it's still blinking a little bit of darkness because it was dark in the forest, but not in the same way the hold is dark.
Yeah, I have to readjust. Well, that was interesting.
And dangerous.
What do you mean?
We told you not
Let's
to tamper with it.
say you can lose.
I didn't. I
more-
just walked in. Nothing else.
That is even more dangerous. That means they have an interest in you. Whatever it is.
Can I look around and see what's around me? And if I've still stepped in the circle, can I step outside of it and study my surroundings?
Yep, you step out of the circle. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Can I make it a roll? Because my wisdom saving bonus is 3, and I still have a 13, so that would be 16.
Yeah, you can make it that.
Yep.
So you get with the 16, you like take a moment to parse reality from the irreality of your situation, and you are sure you are back in the familiar hold of the Knight's Tale or the Night Tale. You've never been in this room before, but you like see all of the stuff. You see your friends on top of the stuff.
The other side of the door.
Yeah, on the other side of the door. You see the hinges, like the hinges on the door look like they're made of natural wood rather than being made of the they look like they've been grown there rather than looking like they are made things. They look like they are grown things. Like if you were to ever see a natural grown door in the side of a tree, this is what it would look like.
So the little circle is the only like notable thing else in this room?
Yeah, other than like the mist on the floor, then this circle is the room is otherwise empty.
Okay. Well, I'll head out for now then. And close the door behind my back. If I can.
Yep, you absolutely can do that. Doors closed, stays closed. The kind of mist in the air goes away when the door is closed. The green light is gone, and the warm spring day feeling you were getting is way less than it was just a moment ago.
I think I must thank you guys, because some kind of voice said to let me go from some troll called Rathar. I don't know if you know anything about that, since you guys apparently have more experience with it, as you said, but didn't want to tell me. He says begrudgingly.
What exactly did the female voice say?
He just said, Rathar, let him go, his friends asked for him. Something like that. That's the only thing that the female voice said.
Does the name sound familiar?
Roll plus your favorite enemy bonus plus your proficiency bonus.
Favorite enemy is only something hunters have.
Don't you have favorite enemy?
Oh yeah, you do.
I think it just gives me advantage.
It gives you advantage. Well, then take advantage then. So your proficiency bonus plus advantage, skill, or the thing would be intelligence.
So the door just opened for you, or what?
I just grabbed the handle and it kind of pushed a little bit, but it like easily came.
You know, Yesterday, a clown held open a door for me. It was just such a nice gesture.
Clown.
Subtract 1. I
Oh my.
forgot that I had a -1 intelligence.
13. Um.
Can I do a history check if I read something about this name somewhere in the past? Or is it something I would never have found?
Yeah. Brain fart. 14 is good enough for Rathar.
13.
13 above a 10. So Rathar, spelled W-R-A-T-H, as in the anger, is, as far as you know, the mystical, fake, whatever you want to call it, mythical. There we go. Mythical father of all trolls. Yes, correct spelling. So the progenitor, grandfather, whatever king, whatever you would want to say. So your favorite enemy is giants. Trolls are giants, or amongst giants. So in your study of them, then his myth would have come up. He was the only troll in existence, created by Mab, Queen of Air and Darkness, but he rebelled against her winter spirit and pledged himself to Aurora. Or no, not Aurora, Titania. He pledged himself to a Titania, who is the queen of Spring Summer Deck Court. And he basically, he spawned the race of trolls, basically with the help of the life and everything given by the Summer Court of Fae. So, and that's pretty much what you know.
So does my character in his research has anything like to do, or anything came across like a forest or
give me a knowledge history. Ooh, 19.
I'm good at history.
So the name Rathar and the forest setting triggers like old fairy tales for you. Like stories of people who get lost in the forest, and or children who wander in the forest and then come back, but they're different. They're changed. And stories from those children, about walking into deep woods, and seeing a giant creature, and various stories of them being eaten or tortured, or not all the nasty things that parents tell their kids to scare their kids away from wandering into the forest.
Yeah.
I should look up some actual fairy tales about trolls, but
I'll tell the party that the troll, the Rothar guy, he wanted me to do a favor for me to teach to get back. For some reason, I didn't accept it though. So just so you know, because I want to know what a favor is first before I accept.
Oh, you will never know what they really want with that kind of people. Nothing is free on that side of the ring.
Oh, good thing I just didn't blindly accept them.
I poke Hollock in the shin or knee. You should know you ate.
Yes. And when the bill is due, I expect Strix to pay half.
all right.
So new plan for the door. I'm going to make a big section, basically a section of wall, and some shoring to support that. So the section covers the doorway and big beams going to fixed points in the boat.
Can I magically enhance the wall with counter spell or something, that if something wants to magically counter it or like put it out, I can it rejects that basically?
All right.
I'll pour all my spell power in it.
Right. So, Grunthos, you think it's gonna take you probably like eight hours to make up your shoring, whatever. It would take you probably 8 hours to make up what you want to do. Striggs, you absolutely can help out with like a counterspell or something like that. Basically try to make the thing magical. I would like basically an Arcana roll from you to see how well that goes, and Grunthos, I'd like your Carpenter, whatever skill that was.
Holy success!
Yeah, that's real good. That your tool use roll for making up the wall section that you want to do.
Strength or dex based?
Probably dexterity based. For like actually crafting the thing, maybe moving it in place would be strength based, but you got friends to help you out with that, so we'll say dexterity. $10. That's just a straight line success. So, you guys spend a few hours working on this. And when you get the final thing, like the final board in place, and Striggs, you finish casting your spell, the like sense of springtime warmth is gone from this main hold section. So while you guys have been down here, you get that sense of a warm spring day. For the entire time you've been here, but as soon as the wall section is in place and Striggs, you're done casting your spell, it's gone. It just feels like the hold.
Got it. Oh, sorry, 3 times level 2 spell slot.
And you guys think you've sealed this, like looking at the handiwork, you guys think you've sealed this off more completely than you've ever managed to, like the like putting the boards up with the nails has never been a very permanent solution. It seems a lot more permanent than that ever was. It's also much harder to remove.
And it blocks the opening regardless of which way the door.
Yeah, you're pretty sure the door used to open towards this part of the hold. Now it opens towards the other part.
Yep, which was why I altered the blockade.
Right. 8 hours from probably 8 a.m. 4 p.m. So now it was later than 8. We'll say it's 6 p.m. By the time you guys are all done shoring and bracing and everything else, it's you see ships leaving and coming into port. You can kind of hear the nighttime or the early evening like bars kicking up and just the lively sounds of the Kirsch port surround you.
Let's sail out.
Yep.
And I'm starting to research the rest of the ship.
All right.
Avoid that area.
You guys head out. We'll go to.
I will Message. Holoco. You might want to keep a watch on the Strix. He might get in trouble again.
I figured as much.
All right. So you guys are currently in Kirsch. How far out to sea are you going to head before you take off, Grenthos?
Approximately something like that.
Okay, so we're talking like 2-3 days out to sea, and then measurement. Do. Select background. Where's the? There we go. Snap to corner. Aha. So we got. Was a square a week?
Yep.
So we got call it 4 weeks of travel. How many successes have you guys gotten on altering the ship?
I got 2.
Okay.
I'm not sure about.
Go ahead and give me. So you got 4 more rolls. Because 4 weeks of travel.
This is kind of cheaty, so I don't think it's gonna be a thing. Do I get my divination rolls for that?
We'll say no.
Just Arcana, or
Yeah, Arcana. Think the DC was 15.
so that's 2 successes.
Yep, 2 more successes. It was the 5th of Peridot, so 4 weeks of travel plus 2 days. Call it the 8th of we'll call it the 8th of
Ooh. Basically a long rest.
Right. Of words of Ruby, and I would like a nature roll from everybody.
Yeah.
15 will be good enough. So Grunthos, you notice that the last day of spring / the first day of summer came 2 days early. So it is the solstice that we go from spring to summer, I believe. So the first of Ruby, the longest day of the year, is the day after the 26th of Peridot. And that strikes you as particularly strange.
Oh. Where did the last 2 days of spring go?
So thinking back, do you tell this to anybody else, or you just keep it to yourself?
I ask it to the air pretty much as loud, so loud that anybody could hear it if they were within range of.
So everybody else, like,
I don't.
you
I'm
guys
researching.
once it's pointed out to you, you're like, so this be on the first of Ruby, you'd be like, yeah, this day was like the sunset. This was the longest day of the year. This was the length of the longest day of the year for this part of the world. And could I have everybody do a intelligence roll for me, please? DC 15, Striggs gets it. So, Striggs, thinking back over the last few weeks, or rather, last couple months, you realize kind of that there was a slight hiccup in the day length on the last, basically the 26th of Jade went, like, the day length went directly to the 1st of Peridot. So that gap there is the missing 2 days.
I'll notify the rest about it. That's kind of weird, huh?
Strange.
The other thing for calendar weirdness, this jet was 30 days long instead of, it's the longest jet in living memory for any of you.
Yeah. It wasn't jets where the undead were strongest?
Yes.
What can influence the months like this? I wonder out.
Do I know
gods.
any spells or magic that can alter time or weather like that?
So, Grunthos's comment about the gods is as close as any of you could think. To change the length of the month in a very real, like, astronomical sense is not something that, like, mortal magic, you're unaware of any mortal magic that could do that. You think that there would be magic to, like, if you wanted to move forward or backwards in time, a very powerful wizard could do that sort of thing. And a cleric making a petition to a god could possibly do the same thing, but for the whole world. But that's, like, they got their god to agree to it, not that they were the ones who caused it. If that makes sense.
It does. So I guess we'll just continue to town.
Okay, so you guys arrive near Kartuk around the 10th of Ruby. The Kartuk River is not is much larger than the river going through Kirsch, but it is not, like, designed for your style of ship. Designed is not exactly the right term. It is a, like, fast moving river. The way that barges move up and down this river is with, like, so moving down the river is easy. You just pull your way down the river. Moving up the river is, like, there's no sail ships that sail up this river very far. It's all, like, horse-drawn or magic-drawn vessels that would travel up this river against the current.
How convenient. We have a magic drawn ship.
I mean, fair.
You could
But
also go from the top, from downstream, and just say you came from up.
Both are unbelievable, but I think upstream is the easiest way for us.
It's the least unbelievable.
Or it's a slower way, but we could just say downriver and we strand it and we ask for some guide.
remember, too, you guys have a cargo hold full of heavy wood to move.
That's when we are docked, right?
We're
Now we
not
need to
docked.
go to Khartoum anyway
We're-
with the
we're-
ship, otherwise we won't get there. But the guidance I was talking about, like get some horses in or something like that to pull it upriver to make it more believable.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Will take a long time though.
Do seeing as we've mostly been flying around and coming from unbelievable directions before, do we care that much? We can always explain it away.
I mean, at least theoretically, you guys have been told you own this vessel.
By whom? I just assumed it was property of the Sonderling Inc.
It
Yes,
is.
it is.
The-
Orkland has told you so. They granted it to you by right of salvage.
But there are still shareholders that are a bit, what's the word for it? Not happy.
We have documentation saying that we actually salvaged the thing.
And this other ship has another name, so
Hollick and Horgold, give me an intelligence roll.
My favorite.
Ooh. So Horgold, Kartuk is a city of laws. And it would be very reasonable to think this ship sailed originally from Kartuk. So its major shareholders, the people who built it, the people who would be most interested in it, would be in Kartuk. This is a city of laws. There is you would have every real expectation that if you landed in Kartuk and they claimed that the ship was theirs and you gave your you took your you would have to take your documentation to a court, but you believe that you would have sufficient documentation and the rights and everything else to win the right to maintain the ownership of this ship. That said, it is something that would take time. So the rightful owners of this ship would basically sue you to get it back from wherever you had it. And there is a very real chance that could take weeks to work through. But you believe that because you basically are favored in Orkland and you have the documentation that you did salvage this ship from Orkland, and there are sea salvage rights that are recognized by Kartuk, you think you would win in court. But it's not a thing that would happen overnight.
oh, I love the justice systems and stuff like that and courts.
What? Go ahead.
What we could do, there are barges on the riverway, right?
Yes, there are absolutely barges on the riverway.
So what we could do is settle for I'm thinking like there are small cities or little villages around.
Yes, there are small towns, villages, everything all up and down the river, on either side of Kartuk.
Yeah, so maybe we should sit our ship down of one of those little towns with lesser questions, and then rent a barge. Looking at Grantos because he's the captain.
And who stays to guard the ship?
Split the party.
Please, no.
Yes.
Well,
I'll stay back to research the ship.
Virgorus could guard the ship.
Right.
You have to get her with me, I guess.
You guys could hire people to guard the ship as well.
Yeah, let's do that. Find some village not too far away so the trip up doesn't take forever. And
So if you go upriver from Kartuk, then you could rent a barge and barge it into Kartuk. You wouldn't have to get horses and all that sort of fun stuff.
But we're coming first. Kind of suspicious. I would say go from downstream to Kartuk.
All right, that's a plan that works for me.
yeah, from about halfway from where my line ends in Kartuk, try to find a village somewhere near there.
So, talking about 3 days flight, probably 4 or 5 days from by
there.
barge.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So, well, that's about a day's flight. So about 2 days by barge, where you put the marker down. And that's fine by me. That's your choice. So you guys land about a day's flight. A good jog would take you into Kartuk from here, far enough away from a village to not be seen flying in. And this village has a bunch of small shipping vessels on shore, little boats, and you pull in to shore, DDD, you are a curiosity about town because you sail in and they're not used to seeing a tall ship here. Possibly never seen one before in their life, but it's a small village, maybe 400 or 500 people. And yeah, this is not an everyday occurrence, but they're like, welcome, travelers. How fare you this fine? We'll say it's noonish. How fare you this fine day?
We are looking for some barges up to Kartuk because we cannot sail any further.
Well, you could. There's nothing here in town, but I mean, Kartuk is about a good day's run or a good day's horse ride or so. That way he points up river.
Can I relay how much cargo we have to move?
Yeah, he's like, yeah. The person doesn't seem like there's a problem. There would be no problem getting a barge big enough to carry that. The barges on this river carry double that plus pretty easily. Okay. He's like, yeah, I can. I gotta stop getting distracted by chat. Yeah. There should be some in town that'd be willing to come down river to haul out your ship. You might even find one that's willing to buy directly off your ship and carry it themselves. I don't know what all you got, but otherwise, welcome. Don't often get travel, or don't often Don't often see your type of ship here in town, but travelers are always welcome.
So, do we see any barges passing by at this point?
You don't see any, like, there's nothing here. If you sit and watch the river for a few hours, you would absolutely see a barge headed downriver. This time of year, they would be carrying, like, well, he head in either direction. Would not be carrying grain, but hauling things like logs and finished goods and worked metal and so on and so forth up and down the river. So, every couple, probably 2 to 3 hours, you would see a barge heading in either direction.
Yeah, I rolled for myself, but I think they not gonna come back up empty.
You can haul one of them and ask if they want to take us up.
That would be
extra cash.
That would be the other option. Is they could, like, you might find somebody who's willing to tie your ship on and then use their horse team to pull both ships upstream. But yeah, you would have to pay them for that because extra work on their horses, extra. It would slow down their ship. But
We don't want the ship to go Dukadook, remember?
But I mean, could
giving
we,
you options.
I'm just asking if we could make them carry our load there, hire them to carry our load upstream.
Somebody could give me a charisma roll to see if they're able to convince
anyone who's going to do that charisma roll is going to be an 18 on the dice. And whatever bonus you have added to it.
Somebody give me their bonus.
I got nothing. And it's strange for me with my
I have a 2 but I don't think it's very high.
+2 is higher than mine.
I think you're the most charismatic person here, Hollock.
Yeah.
I didn't start that way.
But it's +2, so it's 20.
Yeah, that would be a 20. So yeah, absolutely. You get a barge to come to shore. You actually get several to come to shore, but most of them are too full. But you manage to get one of them to come to shore and goes, how much do you have? Can I take a look at what you got?
Sure, come on board.
All right, captain comes on board, or probably not the captain, probably the cargo master comes on board. Looks down through your hold. Looks at all you have. Is like, yeah, I think we have enough room. A couple brass and help carrying it, or a couple brass, and if you guys load up or basically help unload in Kartuk, then yeah, I think I can haul your load the rest of the way to town.
So we can travel with you as well?
Oh yeah, well yes. If I'm gonna have you help me unload my ship, then or help me unload he would call it a boat. Help me unload my boat, then absolutely yes. You may travel with us.
That's a great deal.
I hand them 10 brass. Just start doing the captain thing. So let's start loading.
All right, you guys. He hauls his ship up alongside yours. They like give the horses nose bags of oats and stuff like that. These like great big Clydesdale style horses.
Gonna use my floating disc as a ritual cast to help.
Yep, you absolutely cast your floating disc, and there's like a small round of applause from the guys who realize that they don't have to do the backbreaking labor of hauling stuff on and off ships, or at least onto their ship.
At least not as much, yeah.
Yeah, probably 3 hours of loading, so that'd be what, 3 casts of disc?
Yep.
Three
10 minutes, so 3.5 hours.
Yeah, so 3 hours of loading. You're able to get everything from your ship that you want to onto theirs. Could I have somebody give me a stealth roll to hide the last little bits of your cargo traveling up to the other ship?
Yes, 25.
Holy crap,
At
you guys.
28.
You guys are able to like completely disguise these boxes. Like you're confident that they look no more strange than the boxes of wood that you guys are loading on.
Yeah, and in the meanwhile, I'll go into the little town to seek some trustworthy people that, for some coin doesn't open the mouth. To guard my ship.
All right, you find a couple of there's like one town's guard, and he's like, yeah, go to the bar. There's like one bar in town. Ask for Ralph and Judy, and they'll be able to help you out. And you ask around. Those boxes look suspiciously nondescript. You ask around, you're able to find them. They're willing to take your coin to make sure nobody bothers your ship for as long as you're away.
Okay.
Probably bronze a day each. There's no like docking fee here though.
Yeah. When we come back, I will give them 10 in advance.
Right. Basically a brass.
Yeah, and I will make up the bill when we come back. And if we come back early, it's yours.
They like thank you and agree to your terms, and they watch the ship for you. All right, so
locking up the controls, very, very, very.
And I want to buy some bottles of nice beers, the best they have, or liquor on the bar.
They got some pretty good beer here. You think that there's lots of barley grown in the countryside around here. Like nice thick barley forward. I don't know beer very well, but barley forward beer, like malty, not very like hopsy, but very malty beer.
I order. I don't know how much they have, but maybe a case or two.
Sure.
And I let them bring to the barge if they can.
Yeah, it's probably a brass a case. Probably.
Can I inspect the bottom floor with the wall that we made, and if it's still fine?
It's been a month. Give me Arcana, please.
Seems fairly important, so we're gonna make it have to be a 17 on the dice plus my 7, so that's.
So 24.
Yes.
You examine. So the hold is empty, and you examine the door, like the wall. The wall seems completely intact. Nothing weird with that. You feel the weave of your spell in the wood, and you can tell that it is with a 24. You can tell that it's like very, very slowly degrading. Like you can kind of like pushing your hand up against the wood and feeling like the magic of it. You can feel the pressure of the stuff on the other side, like slowly wearing away the threads of your spell, kind of like water wears away like a rock. It's like it takes forever, but it'll get there eventually.
Do I feel like I should reinforce it with spells? Or...
You think it's lasted a month. You think it would be another month or two before it completely had worn your spell away?
Can I like partially repair it right now for some spell points?
Yeah, spend
some time.
spend something on it and give me an Arcana roll.
1 slot of each spell level, I guess. It's fun.
Okay.
So 1 level 4, 1 level 3, 1 level 2, 1 level 1.
All right. Give me your Arcana roll. Give yourself a bonus per how many spell levels you spent. So that's
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be 25 then, I guess.
25. Okay, so you reinforce that you think this thing will last at least until the first day of winter.
That's skipping an entire season.
Yes.
Nice.
So yeah, you reinforce this to you think you can make it last until at least the first day of winter. And you think you can also make this, like, that was a good enough roll plus spend. You think you can also make this go away at any time of your choosing?
The spell itself.
The spell itself.
Enter it. Yeah.
Yeah. The wood board thing is you can't just lift that out of the way, but the spell itself you could turn off at your convenience.
Got it. Thank you.
All right.
Hello.
All right. So you guys, everybody's appreciative of the beer when it gets delivered on ship. Another round of applause for everybody. You guys load onto the ship. It's late afternoon, early evening at this point, and the horses are, like tied back onto their thing. And you guys start hauling your way back up the river. The ship, the sailing master says, "Well, it's gonna be a couple days till we arrive in Kartuk, and thanks for welcome aboard, and make yourself comfortable while you're there."
I'll try and help as much as I can with moving the boat along or whatever is needed of me, and otherwise I will take a long rest every night to regain at least 1 time rest.
Yep.
I'm playing my flute to keep morale.
Morale's done well. All right, so Hollock, please join me in the sideboard. So you the first night aboard the ship, or not the ship, the boat, the barge. You make yourself comfortable where they've set you up a little like hammock, and you fall asleep and you awaken in a forest very similar to what Striggs had described, like tall ancient trees, kind of a low mist, and you see Aurora's figure kind of congeal out of the mist. She smiles at you, says, "Oh, Hollock, it's good to have you here. How may I help you?"
Oh, we recently discovered that somehow 2 days of spring got lost or stolen or somehow disappeared. And we wonder if it is something worth investigating, or maybe even a job.
So you see a flash of anger cross her face, and she like, it's like that moment where you see somebody's real emotion and then they get the, like, they settle their expression and they're back to their normal, like, happy expression, but you see that sudden, like, micro expression of anger across her face, and she says, "Yes, they have stolen 2 of my days. I'm not exactly sure how, but somebody has taken 2 days of spring and moved them to Jet. I would suggest I do not know. I am my knowledge of what caused it is clouded, but I would seek out the help of those in service to the gods, because they would be the only ones that I know of who could pierce the veil that I am behind. I do not know who stole my spring, but I wish to claim my days back, and I if you give me back the days lost to me, I will grant you and your companions a boon, the likes of which you have never seen. And she kind of chuckles heartily and says, "And you know how good my boons can be."
That I do. I will try to convince my companions that it is a quest worth taking.
She smiles. You know that if you ever need to get from place to place quickly, how to do so. And if you are going, if you and your companions are going to settle this and want to travel through my realm, you will have the protection of me and mine while you do so.
That is very generous. Thank you very much.
I knew she kind of approaches you, and she's taller than you remember seeing her in the past, and she kind of does that like hand from the forehead and kind of cups your chin and says, I am happy that I chose you. I am happy that you came to my realm. Do this for me, and you will win the favor of the entire summer court. And you find yourself drifting off to sleep in your dream, and you sleep through the night, a full night's like comforted, warm sleep. Let's go back to the main game.
One.
No, didn't know the yours one. Welcome back.
Thank you. So you guys travel. It's a couple days to Kartuk from here. When it becomes dark, they pull the barge to the side. They like pull it over to the side of the bank, kind of bank it a little bit so that it doesn't have a chance of floating away. And then they like get out and like brush the horses and give them their feed, and I'll take care of that.
Hey.
About half the crew at a time like gets on shore and starts a fire, cooks some food, all that sort of fun stuff.
Can I use prestidigitation to clean the horses with them and clean the people a little bit if they're messy and want to be cleaned? Hey.
You can absolutely clean the horses. The people are a little bit hesitant to let you like clean them.
I'm offering it.
Right. That's a little personal. These guys don't know you that well, so but they let you like help clean the horses, and the horses are like bright, shiny, clean. They're in a really good mood by the time you're done.
And I can flavor some food, and I can light a fire at the start of it.
Yep. But the nights pass without much incident. The skies are clear and calm. Looking down river, like if you guys climb to a high place, either on shore, like if you like climbed a tree or climb to some place tall, you can like look down river. I mean, at this point, you even the second day, if you get up high enough, you can still look back and like maybe see the village that your ship is in. This thing travels relatively slowly, but yeah, from your owl's eyes, you could absolutely see pretty easily the town that your ship is in. But yeah, you get to Kartuk. It is the 12th of Ruby. The place is a bustle of activity. Like, do you guys pull to shore? You realize this barge has, like, there's a company seal on the side of it, and they pull up to the company docks. The load master shakes you guys' hands, or shakes probably Grotho's hands. Like, happy to carry your load. If you guys ever have any more bulk goods to carry up and down the river, go ahead and talk to Green River Shipping. He points at like the office, and you can. We will be happy to carry loads for you. So, thanks for your business. And you guys work on unloading your stuff. It is probably early evening, the 12th of Ruby, and I think we will wrap up there. So, thank you everybody for playing with me. It's been great fun. Thank you everybody for watching. We will be back again. I'll shoot for next weekend, but I realize the weekend between Christmas and New Year's is really fraught for D&D time. So we'll see how that works out. But definitely the start of the new year, we'll be back again. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye.